Hi, today I want to tell you about one of my little projects which is called ReactHelmetWithVisor. And to start off, I want to tell you how this thing has started. And let's go on the main project. I think you should be familiar with React Helmet project, the famous project that helps you to manage the head node of your markup, because when you're working with React.js, you are working mostly with the body, and this thing helps you to add all this stuff like meta title and link all this stuff to the head and update it as any other element in your DOM structure. And here's all things how to use it, so you can see. The thing is that sometimes we have some problems with using this, especially when you need to inject something unusual, something dynamic, some dangerous stuff. Like you want to inject something in the image meta text, something dynamically generated. And the best example, I got some use case where I take some random string from some external source from API. So I got this string, and it could be something absolutely different. Mostly these are SEO scripts to track activity on a page, and this should be placed in the head, but this is just a string, right? And I got some problems with that because in the library, if you want to inject something, you have to do it like this. You have to use React elements here. It's not just one string as I have. And there are some solutions, there are some workarounds, and here you can see a man solved it by using different data fields. He has meta JSON for scripts, string, and some meta things for title and meta tags, but he's doing this separately, so you have to deal with your scripts and other things in different ways. Because look, you have to like parse it and split it in some unusual way, and you deal differently with these tags, and then you join them together in a helmet by using this React HTML parser. By the way, if you want to parse this string but this script, you have to use it differently. And yeah, one of these suggestions is just use React HTML parser and place all string inside of the parser. But look what happens, and now I think you're gonna understand what was the original problem. And let's say I get this string and I want to place it inside of my helmet here. I'm using this React Helmet parser and place string inside. So, and in string you can see script together with no script and image inside, and now you can see immediately you can see the problem here, that something wrong with no script. And the reason is that this HTML string doesn't look like JSX. This is the origin of the problem. But you can try even without this no script. You can try just script here, and so you can see that no error anymore. But let's go and check it inside, and you can see that you can find this script here. This script has been just swallowed somewhere, and you will never find it, neither in the head nor in the body, nowhere. And this is a problem of this issue here, and people say this is a problem with React DOM by itself. But what you can do here, let's say if I comment this string and uncomment this thing, If you do so, you can see that all works well. You can find the script here. Yeah, this is the script in the body here. But anyway, because I don't have this string, right? I have string with the script tags together and all together with no script tags, and I don't have access in some internal parts. I don't want to parse it somewhere in my program anyway. So I suggested to introduce a new tag HelmetOpenVisor to embed some string to the helmet. And this is the thing that came out of this. And now you can do it, you can use it, just put inside whatever you want, like a string, and it will be okay. And this is on the client side, but on the server side, of course, when you want to render your application for the first time, you can do the same. You can do the string here and you get everything inside of the head. And let's see how it works in the code sandbox. As I said, here we import it from ReactHelmetWithVisor, and just, we have the string, a script and no script, and image inside, and some other things to mix all together. So, and here's this new element here, and they place this string inside, and all works good. You can go and check it out. All inside the head element here. You see your script and no script, all good. The data React Helmet attribute here. So now let's go on some interesting stuff, and I want to take you to that journey and tell you what exactly I was bumping in when I was implementing this stuff, and I got some problems. The first problem was, okay, when you got the string, what you want to embed inside of the head, it's just a string. But you really need to split this string in separate elements, because for each of these elements, you want to set up a special attribute of the helmet library, by which the library will be able to find and update the elements during the rendering time. To split this string, you can do a little trick. Create an element div, place the string inside of the element, and then you take its children out, and that's what you need. By the way, why do we even need to do it at all? Because in the head we don't have such a div elements. We don't have a tag to embrace several tags. For example, I want to embrace script and no-script elements by another element, but it's impossible in the head. In the body, I can do it with the div, but in the head, I can't do it. So this is the problem. If not that, I would just create some element, place the string inside of the element, and set up the special helmet attribute, and that would be great. But the next thing interconnected with the previous one. Because I wanted to do server-side rendering, if on the previous step I could use this document, on the server side I don't have this document, of course, and I couldn't parse my string because document and create elements, they served like a parser for HTML. The answer was to use these libraries. These are interconnected libraries, the most important HTML parser 2 library. And this thing really can help you to parse your HTML, and I could parse it as a string, and for each element to set this attribute, return back the string, and all was done, everything okay. And this is just this trick, and this is the same library that's being used by React HTML parser, but and the third thing I want to tell you is, let's go back on the client side, and here, look, if you just take a JavaScript and try to embed in your HTML by these actions, this script will not run anyway. So this script will be there in the DOM structure, but it hasn't been run. And to make it running, here's a little trick. You have to use create range instead of create element, and then create contextual fragment. Then take its children out of this, and these children will run. And this is the little trick. So yeah, I made these things, and but creators of the library were not super excited about this because this is some security concerns. Of course, I understand it, but in my situation, I trust to the source of these scripts. I trust this with the same level of trust as I trust to my source code. So I think this is okay. Of course, it depends on situation, but sometimes you really need it. But anyway, I created this pull request here, and one man decided this cool idea anyway. So, but something got wrong, and I asked it for help, but I haven't got the response. Anyway, so it's still open merge request and something wrong inside the CI/CD here. But I needed this thing, so I decided to create my own fork version of the library, and this is the name. This is what I used in the beginning. So React Helmet with Visor library, and its funny icon symbolizes that you can inject inside of the helmet whatever you want to. And yeah, the same thing. And of course, npm package here was generated. And I think of course I want to merge this back to the main library, and this library now goes on the version number 6, but they don't have really many additions in the new version. Just the only addition is they do import like this instead of doing default import as before. And you can see in the change list just only 2 things. One thing outside that users can see, and one just change of one little function inside. So it could be the good addition for the new version, but unfortunately now it's still open merge request. And the last thing is, of course, if you are using TypeScript, you want to have types, and this library had the section on DefinitelyTyped famous repository, and I had to copy this and little bit fix it, because now they want for every new library that types were in line with the latest features of the TypeScript, and they created, of course, this another one types package automatically for me, and that's it. That's all I wanted to say, and I hope it was enjoyable, and I will place all references in the description of the video, and you can go and you can contribute something if you want, or just wait for the inclusion of this fork back to the main library. Would be great. So thank you for watching. Bye now.